The famous Hollywood sign is transformed in honor of the new Super Bowl champs, and a victory parade is set to kick off steps from USC.
On this Valentine's Day underway, flowers can be a sign of love and good business. Meet a Trojan florist who's creating some special gifts.
And tensions remain along the Russia-Ukraine border, but tonight there's new hope for keeping the peace.
Annenberg TV News is next.
Rams fans have another reason to celebrate tonight after winning Super Bowl 56. Good evening, I'm Evan Wyno.
And I'm Lizzy Reisinger. A Super Bowl victory parade is set to happen Wednesday. Rams fans at USC won't have to go far to celebrate last night's Super Bowl win over the Cincinnati Bengals. The team announced a victory parade through Exposition Park on Wednesday. The parade will start at the Shrine Auditorium and end with a rally outside the LA Coliseum. We spoke with the manager of City Taco about how restaurants around campus are preparing for the festivities.
We're just going to get ready for it, and we can get a lot of new customers coming in, and we're just also excited that Rams have ended up winning the Super Bowl here in home.
Team officials have not yet announced what time the parade will start. It will be the first championship parade in LA since the start of the pandemic, something both the Dodgers and the Lakers did not receive.
Tinseltown is also celebrating the Rams' historic win, but with a bit of a makeover. For the next few days, the iconic Hollywood sign will remind everybody that this is the Rams house. The display is the result of a partnership between LA, the Rams, the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce, and the Hollywood Sign Trust. The chairman of the Sign Trust says the change marks a great moment in the landmark's history.
This is a celebration of that enthusiasm for Rams house. This is actually for all of the fans of the Rams, and to project that civic pride with the city and the world.
Being from the LA area, when they change it to suit an event that happens locally, it's kind of neat because it gives us something to come to look at. Otherwise, we've seen it because we live here, so it's really neat.
If you want to show off your LA pride and maybe grab one for the gram, you better be quick. The Rams house sign will only be on display until Wednesday.
California's indoor mask mandate will end for people who are vaccinated starting Wednesday. Local health officials can continue their own requirements, but the mandate will remain for school children statewide.
We've always said that schools are an important area to protect and support. They are not just places for learning, not just places for services for young places, not just places that important Californians work.
This Wednesday, all counties in Southern California, except for Los Angeles, will be lifting the indoor mask mandate. Students at UC Berkeley will no longer have to wear their masks indoors. USC students are looking forward to the day when they can take off their masks too.
That's really exciting news for UC Berkeley, because if they're dropping their mask mandate, I feel like that means they have data that allows them to do so, and that the cases are dropping. I hope that one day that USC can do the same, because I miss seeing people's faces, but in the meantime, I appreciate USC's effort to keep everyone safe. So.
I'm pretty jealous that they dropped the mask mandate, but at the same time, I completely understand, because we do live in a really big city and there's a lot of people and a lot of students. And I think it's our duty to just keep everyone safe and just do whatever LA County says.
All children in California public schools will still have to wear masks indoors. Health officials say the priority remains to keep students safe and in the classroom. Now that USC trustee Rick Caruso is officially running for mayor of Los Angeles, many are wondering how that might affect the university. Caruso is a second-generation Trojan and was named chairman of the Board of Trustees in 2018. The Catholic Center is named after him, and he heads that advisory board too. In 2015, Caruso and his wife donated $25 million to a Keck medicine department that specializes in hearing. The couple's four children all attended USC. Caruso is a real estate mogul worth billions. A USC faculty member says voters should be more concerned about that than about anything he's done for USC.
I'm assuming that if Rick Caruso is elected mayor of Los Angeles, he will resign as chair of the board of trustees. That seems like an inappropriate, I wouldn't say a conflict of interest, but certainly an inappropriate duplication of roles. As a candidate, it's not a long-term prospect. And I don't see certainly any reason for him to resign as chair of the board.
Caruso is running against dozens of candidates, including Congresswoman Karen Bass, LA City Council members Kevin De Leon and Joe Busciano, and City Attorney Mike Feuer. The primary is set for June 7th, and the general election will be November 8th.
It was Alberto Carvalho's first day of school today. He started as the new superintendent of the Los Angeles Unified School District. Carvalho takes over the second largest district in the nation as it combines to combat the effect of the pandemic. Before coming to LA, Carvalho served as superintendent of the Miami-Dade County Public School System. He also was a science teacher and an assistant principal. Carvalho was born in Portugal and came to New York City as an undocumented immigrant in his teens. We spoke with some LAUSD board members who say he has all the skills to lead the district into the future.
He's done a lot of great work in Miami, leading strategic plans to close opportunity and achievement gaps for kids. And a lot of similar challenges exist here in LA. He's been very clear about wanting to learn about our unique communities, our histories, our traditions.
What we needed was to have an actual educator as the leader of LAUSD. And when I say a real educator, I mean a teacher and a principal and a superintendent experience. This is exactly what we wanted.
Carvalho will begin a 2-day tour of 9 schools, beginning later this week. On Wednesday, he plans to teach a biology class and visit a dual language Mandarin classroom. A USC student is fed up with the duo. She started a petition looking to remove the 2-factor verification system, saying it's inconvenient and adds unnecessary stress. 407 people have already petitioned. The student organizer hopes for thousands of signatures, a number she cites as the threshold to bring to the administration's attention.
USC's IT department, and they say they only implement it for all USC students because it saves them 70% off on cyber insurance, yet our tuition is still going up. So I don't know where that money's going towards, so.
The Chief of Information and Securities says the Duo system is essential to prevent hacking. He cited a previous instance of ransomware within the Keck School of Medicine, where multiple barriers of entry helped solve the issue quickly.
There's hundreds of emails that go out per campaign. So you imagine just the number of emails that actually make it through our system and actually get delivered. And so ransomware is a real thing when accounts get compromised.
Despite the petition, IT has only received a handful of student complaints. Agnosis says that the 2-factor authentication is the most efficient route for protecting student information. Those who worry Russia may soon invade Ukraine may catch a breath, as hope for diplomatic resolution underway.
Afghanistan refugees are getting help from a local community to find a new home after they had to flee their country last summer.
For the first time, Hippo comes to the Super Bowl. We talked to a dancer who performed at the halftime show.
Worried your friend's struggling but don't know how to reach out? You could say how are you or get a fake tattoo. You could ask with an app if it works for you. You could write them a text or knit them a sweater. If you can't be together, you could write them a letter. Whatever gets you talking. Whatever gets you talking. You could chat on the game, kick off your flip-flops. You could ask on your couch while you binge watch. However you do it, you gotta ask a friend. And if they don't share, you can ask again. Whatever gets you talking. Whatever gets you talking.
There are a lot of ways to reach out to a friend about their mental health. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
The Kremlin confirmed today that it's ready to negotiate with the West concerning the Ukraine border crisis.
We are in the window and an invasion could begin, a major military action could begin by Russia in Ukraine any day now. We are also prepared to respond in a united and decisive way with our allies and partners should Russia proceed.
The Russian military has occupied the Ukrainian border on 3 different fronts. More than 1,000 troops have now assembled along the border. There has been a dramatic buildup in Russian forces on the Ukrainian border over the past 10 days. U.S. officials have been warning about the possibility of an invasion, although the situation remains unclear.
Chances are better than 50-50 that we don't see a major invasion. I think that's still unlikely, and that some last-minute resolution, some last-minute compromise will at least put things off to the future. Just because at this moment, both sides are being strident and both sides are being maximalist, that's because both sides want the other to concede.
Professor English says an invasion of Ukraine would not further the Russian agenda, but rather hurt it. He says the stakes of a full-scale war are too catastrophic for the country to afford.
Now the fallout from another international crisis. Thousands of Afghan refugees fled the country last summer after American troops pulled out. Reporter Carissa Locus visited a local community that's helping them find a new way away from home.
The most familiar and the loudest landmark in the Santa Clarita Valley, the terrifying roller coasters at Six Flags Magic Mountain. But just minutes away, a community is coming to the rescue of refugees on a real death-defying journey.
I didn't brought anything, just I got my children and wife and I escaped to the US. Just the clothes and nothing else.
The King Fahad Mosque is helping with prayers, food, and supplies. But Afghan refugee families are experiencing not only culture shock, but sticker shock.
Or the rent of the house is very high, so I'm with my children's became eight person in a family.
According to the International Institute of Los Angeles, each refugee receives about $1,200 as a one-time grant.
They need a help to somebody co-sign for them, because they don't have no credit in the history of this country.
About 130 Afghan refugees arrived here at Santa Clarita Valley a couple of months ago. They're currently living in hotels with governmental help, but that help is not going to last forever, so the community is trying to help them with the next step.
We have free classes.
The College of the Canyons is offering free language and citizenship classes, and the Los Angeles County Office of Education is offering support for younger children.
Because they're not in need of charity, they already have some resources set up, but they need help in finding jobs and getting housing.
Faith and a little help from their new friends just might make Santa Clarita a new home far away from home. For Annenberg Media, Carissa Lucas.
Toss it over to our weather anchor, Justin Hyo. Justin, how's the weather looking?
Well, Evan, it's been extremely hot the past week, with the Super Bowl being the second hottest ever, starting at 82 degrees at kickoff. Today's forecast is looking to be 62 degrees right now with 67% humidity. And let's take a look at this week's forecast. All right, so on Tuesday, we have a high of 61 degrees, and it looks like we'll be seeing highs from 61 to 72 and lows of 47 to 50. So I'm very happy that it's finally cooling down this week, because skinny boys like me are definitely not built for summer fits. So I'm a little relieved that I can keep wearing my long sleeves. We have some exciting developments, as there is a 30% chance of rain tonight and tomorrow. And I don't know about you guys, but I'll definitely be wearing a tight white button down so that I could have my see-through shirt moment. There's also going to be a full moon on Wednesday, so this is the perfect time to charge your crystals, manifest a partner for next year's Valentine's Day, and to see if your weird nocturnal roommate is actually a werewolf. Speaking of moons, my moon is in Taurus, meaning that my emotional self is very romantic and sentimental. Yet, unfortunately, I am still single this Valentine's Day, so if anyone's interested in your Monday weather boy, call me. All right, well, it looks like love is in the air. Lizzy, are you feeling the love tonight?
Yes, Justin, definitely. But I'd also say after last night's Super Bowl performance, there's also a ton of excitement in the air. The Super Bowl wasn't just a historic moment for the Rams. It was also a milestone for hip-hop. The halftime show marked the first time the genre took center stage at the big game.
Low life, your life, boy, we giving it up. It's the one and only D.R.E. Dr. Dre, you little busters.
Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Mary J. Blige, Eminem, and Kendrick Lamar performed their hits, with 50 Cent and Anderson .Paak making guest appearances. The set showcased dancers atop sprawling LA streets, while the artists rapped in local landmarks. For dancers, it was a special experience being a part of the historic performance.
It was so rewarding to be a part of that experience and helping it put together and put on a really good halftime show. But I'm glad they included like Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, like Mary J. Blige, like just really the essence of like hip hop. A bunch of people can relate to the spirit that they bring to their music.
This performance also marked the third time Jay-Z's company, Roc Nation, produced the halftime event. The show featured older and newer hip-hop artists and served as a celebration of West Coast rap.
Champions of the world, the Lombardi Trophy is coming home, and your very own Los Angeles Rams are Super Bowl champions. Meanwhile, Drew Peterson and the Trojans are rolling after an electric win over UCLA, and Jordan Jenkins continues to dominate. We've got this and more coming up next on Sports.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown and feel technique. After the first drown, a good start. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay. Yeah. Hey Smokey, catch!
Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Well, we've got lots of super stories to cover today.
I'm Riley Flynn.
And I'm Gavin Murillo. Let's go! Los Angeles is the city of champions once again. The Rams defeated the Cincinnati Bengals by a score of 23-20 in a dramatic finish to capture the awe-inspiring, legacy-defining, and truly iconic Lombardi Trophy. The star of the biggest game on the planet was none other than Offensive Player of the Year and Super Bowl MVP Cooper Kupp. Racking up 92 yards and 2 touchdowns, it would be Kupp who came up clutch, hauling in the game-winning touchdown to cap off LA's Super Bowl win with a true Hollywood ending.
In 2019, we walked off the field that last time after losing to the Patriots. I wasn't able to be a part of that thing. But I don't know what it was. There's just this vision that God revealed to me that we were going to come back. We were going to be a part of a Super Bowl. We were going to win it, and somehow I was going to walk off the field as the MVP of the game.
Securing their second Super Bowl win in franchise history and LA's first Super Bowl since 1951.
Legacies is built not from individual stats, but, you know, team success. You know, the ultimate goal is always to be a world champion. I've been saying that for the past few years, so, you know, to finally get the opportunity to feel this, to be living in it right now and at this time, this moment, it's like, I don't know, it's hard to put it in words right now.
Well, we've got a bunch of super topics to talk about today. We now turn to our correspondent, Quillan Sortino, for more on Super Bowl 56. Quillan, what are some of your biggest thoughts and takeaways from the biggest game on planet Earth?
Well, thanks, Gavin. As you know, Bengals head coach Zach Taylor is quite an aggressive play caller, and I think they made quite a few errors. Their first being on the Bengals' first drive of the game, on the Rams' 49, they had a 4th and 1 and they went for it. Didn't end up happening, and a couple plays later, the Rams scored a touchdown. So with those tight games, like Super Bowl was, it came back to hurt them pretty much. What do you think?
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that one. A lot of suspect and questionable play calling from the Bengals throughout the entire game. But I think if you're going to take one word away from the Super Bowl, that word would be redemption. You look at Matthew Stafford. For 12 years, he was on the Detroit Lions, and you know he didn't see a lot of success. In his first year with the Los Angeles Rams, he's a Super Bowl champion. You look at Odell Beckham Jr. Literally earlier this season, he was on the Cleveland Browns, not doing too hot, and now he's a Super Bowl champion. And finally, you look at Andrew Whitworth, the Walter Payton Man of the Year. He played against his former team, the Cincinnati Bengals, and now he too is a Super Bowl champion. What about that halftime show, man? What can you tell me about that?
Oh man, it was great. I enjoyed it a lot. And it's especially special if you're part of Generation X. It was just a lot of classic old school rap.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. One of my favorite moments was seeing Kanye and Antonio Brown on the big screen. But we've got that and a lot more stuff to look through as we turn it to Riley Flynn, who will cover this electric win over USC versus UCLA.
Thanks, Gavin. USC men's basketball is now number 17 in the national rankings, and Drew Peterson is the Pac-12 Player of the Week, following the Trojans' 3-point win over UCLA Saturday at Galen Center. The win moved USC into second place in the Pac-12 standings. It's USC's 5th victory in a row against UCLA, the first time since 1943 the Trojans have defeated their crosstown rival 5 straight times. Peterson carried the team by scoring 27 points, a career high.
My coaches and my teammates trust me to shoot, and thankfully I was knocking them down tonight, and I was feeling really confident. And that's something I've had to work through, and obviously I've got my confidence back and a little bit of swagger, so I'm happy, and it was awesome. It was a great win.
The atmosphere at Galen Center was electric. USC students lined up for hours before the game to secure a spot in the stands, and many were turned away once the stadium filled to capacity. The student section attendance of 2,681 was the largest in Galen Center history. Fans stormed the court to celebrate when the game ended.
What an incredible atmosphere. Our students section, our marketing department's done a great job getting our students excited. The students are supporting us. We had just a tremendous crowd. I think that's why we were able to pull it out in the second half. It gave us tremendous energy. I've been coaching a long time, 27 years, since 1994 is my first job, Milwaukee Bucks, and this was as good an atmosphere as I can remember.
The next men's basketball game is this Thursday at the Galen Center. Let's bring Quillan back in to talk about the win over UCLA. Quillan, what did you make of the atmosphere at Galen Center on Saturday?
Oh man, it was electric. It was the largest crowd in Galen Center history for the student section. And man, Drew Peterson went off. I mean, you have Isaiah Mobley that was hurt. You got Boogie Ellis, who was taking the night off, and he did everything offensively, defensively, 5 blocks. Just a gutsy performance, Riley.
I agree. Are you going to go to their next game?
You know, I don't know. I have a lot of homework on Thursday night, so we'll have to see about that.
Okay, thanks, Quillan.
In other basketball news, Jordan Jenkins is the Pac-12 Player of the Week for the first time in her career. She was a force on the road last week, averaging 22.7 points and 10.7 rebounds over 3 games. Jenkins has been on a roll as of late, notching 20 points in 4 straight games prior to her 18-point performance against Washington State on Sunday. The Trojans' leading scorer spoke about how she bounced back after a slow first quarter to score a season-high 29 points in Friday's win.
Just try to stay confident in myself and just know that shots are going to fall. So I try not to worry about missing too much or, missing easy baskets because I know I'll get them later on.
Jenkins will look to continue her excellent play when the Trojans face off against Utah on Friday at home. Tip-off is at 7 p.m. Evan, back at you.
Coming up, as many shoppers are getting last-minute gifts for Valentine's date night, we'll meet a USC florist to see how her business is blooming.
Lávate las manos por 20 segundos como Elmo.
Hay algo especial acerca de este lugar. Se siente como un hogar, una sala debajo del cielo y los árboles. Rodeado de aire fresco y la naturaleza. Todo aquí para que lo disfrutemos y para que lo cuidemos. Tenemos la responsabilidad de cuidar de esta tierra que llamamos casa, de preservarla para las generaciones que vienen. Cada acción pequeña contribuye para un cambio mayor y cada uno de nosotros podemos hacer la diferencia. Hay algo especial acerca de este bosque. Es un lugar donde se hacen recuerdos y juntos podemos preservarla y protegerla.
Flowers are practically synonymous with Valentine's Day. And if you're looking for a bouquet that's just as special as your special somebody, one USC senior is crafting unique arrangements that may be the perfect gift for your Valentine. Hannah Thatcher has been working since 5 a.m. to pick, assemble, and deliver floral arrangements that don't look anything like your typical Valentine's Day bouquet.
I think that a rose is boring. I try to go for more of like a foresty, like kind of looks like it's a fairy world within my arrangements. I love it to be droopy and be all deformed in some ways because I feel like when it's not perfect, it's so much better.
Well, Evan, I actually have an arrangement from Hannah waiting for me at home, so I'm excited to see it. I think flowers are probably my favorite part of Valentine's Day. What about you?
Lizzy, I just put in my order from Hannah, and I'm so excited to pick it up and see what it looks like and hear about what all the hype's about.
I know, me too. What about the chocolates? Is that a big game changer for you?
The chocolates are for sure a big game changer. I'm more of like a milk chocolate person. But anyway, thanks again for watching Annenberg TV News. From everybody here at Annenberg Media, I'm Evan Wyno.
And I'm Lizzy Reisinger. For more coverage, watch and subscribe our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Annenberg Media. Good night.